Hello all, this is Dr. Darby, and I'm going to show you how to build a habit program really easily within Architect. So I'm on the dashboard, and when you're on the dashboard, you'll see a list of all your current clients. To build a new habit program, you just click on the habit programs in the navigation portal, or navigation column. If it looks like this, click on the hamburger, that pops up the navigation column. So habit programs, this gives me a list of all my current habit programs. To create a new program, go to the right side and click on create a new habit program and give it a title. So I just did a seminar on emotional intelligence, and the clients requested a habit building program along with it, which is really sweet, and I made significantly more money from this, so that was kind of nice. All right, so first you give it a title, then you say how many daily exercises the client should receive. My rule of thumb is 1 to 2 exercises if it's personal development and it's not directly related to the things they have to get done on the job. So these are extra things that they should be doing to grow and develop. If it's something concretely that we're trying to change work habits, so this is something they need to do every day, then I'll go more than that. So for example, we have a business development habit program for some clients, and they get 8 exercises every single day, but these are literally what they have to do in order to succeed at their job. Emotional intelligence, it's strongly correlated with success, but it's not literally the task they have to do to get their job done. And so I'm only going to add this as 1 or 2 because these are extra development for them. So I'm actually only give them 1 task a day. This right here asks you whether you want to assign all areas of focus or not. Now, an area of focus is basically a subdomain of that larger habit program. So within emotional intelligence, as I taught this course, there are 4 subdomains, and we call them areas of focus within the program. So for emotional intelligence, there's self-awareness, how you feel about your own emotions, how you regulate your own emotions, so self-regulation, how aware you are of other people's emotions, and how you regulate other people's emotions. So 4 areas of focus. Now, if each of those has exercises that directly strengthen that area of focus, that subdomain. So for example, practicing mindfulness is a way to become more self-aware, and that's an exercise that increases self-awareness, which increases your emotional intelligence. So you see that kind of scales up. Similarly, if you want to be aware of how others are feeling, here's an exercise, listen completely to other people. So that increases your awareness of other people's emotion, that area of focus, which increases your emotional intelligence. Now, if I want them to work on all 4 of these areas of focus at once and all the exercises associated with them, then I'll go ahead and I'll leave that button on. I'll assign all areas of focus. If for some reason I only want them to concentrate on one area of focus at a time, so I'm saying, hey, you're just working on self-awareness and I only want you to concentrate on these specific exercises, then I'm going to click that off and I'm going to say, nope, you only can choose on 1. Now, be aware that your clients will be able to choose which one they're working on. So you don't assign that to them, they choose once you click that. So in this case, I want to assign all areas of focus. So go ahead and press save. Now the course or the habit program is up. What I need to do now is I need to build those areas of focus. So to add an area of focus, just click on the link, add area of focus, give it a name. So I'm going to work on the first one, self-awareness, and a description. So becoming aware of your emotions and how they affect your thinking. Then I choose a color. I choose different colors for all the areas of focus that I build, and I really like to make them pop because in the tool Architect, it really looks nice to have these vibrant colors. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a nice lime color. Make sure you save it. Okay, so now every exercise in this area of focus will have this color associated with it. Now, make sure if you're ready to roll in your program and you're ready to launch, go ahead and make sure you enable this so that your clients can receive exercise in that program, and press save. All right, so now I have this area of focus. Typically I would continue to build all my areas of focus before I start adding exercises, but for the sake of this demonstration, I'm going to, but you'd add another area of focus and go down. All right, over here is the description of your area of focus. So this is the title. Here are the number of active exercises you have. Right now I haven't built any, so that's 0. And then what domain we're talking about. So we're talking about emotional intelligence. That's the habit program. So to add exercises, I'm going to click on the edit icon, and I get an opportunity to create a new exercise. So let's go ahead and create a new exercise. And in this form, it asks you a few questions. First, do you want people to be able to sign this? Make sure you enable it. If you don't enable it, it's not going to be an active exercise. So you enable it when you want. You have to give it a title, a short description, a longer description. You have to explain how they do it. Do not skimp on this. Be very, very clear in exactly how they do it. So when should they do it? What is this process? What are the steps? What are some things they should watch out for? Lack of clarity destroys habits. So as specific as possible. We're training behaviors. By the way, behaviors are thoughts too, but we're training specific behaviors, and you want to be very, very clear on that. The why is the piece that's generalizable. So you're teaching them why this habit is important, or why this specific exercise helps them with this habit. This is the piece then that they can apply to situations that aren't within the program. So when you teach them, for example, about the purpose of mindfulness in this program, and you talk about being aware of your own feelings, there's going to be times when they won't have this exercise necessarily on their to-do list, but they'll be able to generalize and be able to apply it to different situations. So without the why, they don't generalize. So make sure you include the how, so it's specific, building that exercise, and the why. And every day, every time they get these exercises, they'll be reminded of that how and why. And that's that micro-learning that we talk so much about, and the repetition that we talk about in learning. It really changes how long these things stick, how long they last. So make sure you're very clear on that. So then you put how long the exercise will take in minutes. So if it's going to take an hour, put 60. Recommending shorter is better than longer. So how many days before the exercise can be repeated? So if it's an everyday exercise, put a 1. If it's or put a 0. So they can have it every single day. If you want a gap in between, put a 1. Whatever it is. How many days will the client have before the exercise expires? So if it's a task that won't require any extra work, it's just changing the way that they think or something, then they can have it every single day. But if it's something that is only periodic, so if you're teaching, for example, productivity, and you want them to do weekly planning, then you probably put hey, you have a day or two to do this, because life comes up, and just because you miss it on one day, we don't want you to skip the habit. So sometimes you'll put a couple days in there. This one here, always assign available. If available, says that every time this comes up. So as long as it's an exercise that is available, the client will get it. Okay, and it'll get it even if they get exercises. They always get this assignment whenever it's available. Here is the days that you want to say that they can get the exercise. So select the days that you want. Select them all if it's always available. All right, so what I do is I don't actually write these things in here when I'm building. I use the habit program prep sheet, which you can download and fill out yourself. All the columns just are the pieces of this, and then I just copy and paste. So for example, let's do listen completely. So this, we're doing self-awareness. So what are you feeling? So I'm going to put this in here. So I'll copy and paste just from here. So here's my title. What are you feeling? I already wrote my short description of it. The short description is, ask yourself several times today, what are you feeling? It's not instructive at this point. I'm just describing, what it means. So, and then I'll give them a little bit longer description of that. And then, typo there. I'll tell them exactly how to do it. So in this case, I was very specific. I said, hey, you're going to set alarms several times a day, and you're going to write down answers to these questions. Alarm goes off, you're going to examine your feelings, you're going to write these things, okay? And then I taught them why. So what I'm trying to build here is I'm trying to build mindfulness. This is the key to self-awareness. Using this external alarm is really going to help them practice that. All right, so how long will this exercise take? It really only takes 2 minutes. So 2, I got that from here. How many days? They can repeat it almost every day. So I'm going to put a day gap in between these. How many days will the client have before this expires? I went ahead and gave them 2 because they do have to do something differently. They have to set an alarm. Do I want this always to pop up if it's available? No, not necessarily. This is just it's a great exercise, but it's not one that's absolutely needs to happen. Okay, and then days of the week, it can go on any day. So I'm going to go ahead and click every single day so they can get it any day they want. And then I'm going to save that. So I saved it, and now if you look, this exercise exists here. What are you feeling? You click on it, you see all those things. You can edit it at later time. Just make sure you press save. You can delete it if you really hate it. Let's go back to our habit programs. We were working on emotional intelligence. Oh, sorry. And if you look here, that was our area of focus we did. That's the number of active exercises. We have 1. And then you just go through that process. It actually doesn't take a whole bunch of time at all to do these things, to build a really robust program. I found that generally you can build a great habit program in 30 minutes to an hour, as long as you're a subject matter expert. So if you have any questions, please reach out to us, support@habittechnologies.com. And I actually love sitting down with people and helping them create habit programs. So if you'd like to communicate with me, please reach out, Ryan@habittechnologies.com. And happy habit building.